All right, guys, when you look at the board this weekend, take out the Thursday night game. The Dolphins and the Bills play tonight. That's the biggest line of the entire week. But on the Sunday slate, the biggest underdog on the board is your Cleveland Browns. As of this morning, they were 8.5-point underdogs at home against the 2-0 Green Bay Packers. So obviously it's going to be an uphill battle for Cleveland to pull off their first win of the season. But if the Browns are going to do that, we're going to discuss what the blueprint to a victory will look like. So Dustin, I'll start off with you on this one. For the Browns to pull off this win, what has to happen on Sunday? What's the blueprint to upsetting the Green Bay Packers?
Well, I think it's very simple. I mean, you're at home, so you got to get off to a good start, and you're going to have to play really good defense in this matchup. And that's frankly the strength of the Browns, I think, at this point, right? I mean, we know that they're going to get after it. Myles Garrett has been lights out this season. No surprise there. But he and the Browns defense, I think, are going to have to create some turnovers. And they're going to have to be like really good in terms of getting those turnovers, getting off the field, putting their offense in, good situations where they don't have to have a long field. And if they do get those turnovers, you got to get points off of those. I'm not saying it's got to be like a perfect game for the Browns, because it's the NFL and our guys get paid, their guys get paid, so you get that whole thing. But it's going to be a challenge. I mean, the Packers are really good. Love is playing great. I love their offense. I think their defense is extremely underrated. I actually watched a couple of their first, 2 games, and I'm like, man, they are damn good. Like, they look like a team, because the NFC I don't think is very, very tough. They look like a team that could be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a really tough early season matchup for the Browns, and really kind of a crossroad game for the Browns, because if they lose this, I mean, you're 0-3, and you're staring down a barrel of 1-6 maybe in terms of the first 7 games. I don't see many wins, because you got to go to Detroit, you got to go across the pond to take on the Vikings, and that's not going to be an easy matchup. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a really, really tough challenge. I'm hard pressed to even take the Browns into points this week, guys.
Yeah, this is nasty work, man.
Hi, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach's arrived.
Zach will join us here in about 10 minutes.
We're going to get to this, man. Listen, I talk about it. We need an upset special. How do you go about getting an upset special here? Well, listen, I went to OU and Mac school. We always used to talk about it. This is all about breaking tendencies. Throw it out the window. You come out with a completely different game plan than they've seen. I think defensively, if I'm Kevin Stefanski, I go to Jim and I say, listen, Jim, you've been in this game. You're a head coach. You've been doing this for a very long time. If you got to empty the chamber, go ahead and do it. If you got to get creative, go ahead and do it. If you got to bring some heat and pressure from Jordan Love and you don't really like the rush, do it. By all means necessary. If I'm going to Tommy Reese. I'm saying, Tommy, listen, here's what I need you to do. I need you to be getting them young guys ready to go. I need you to get you break down this college tape, because this offense is going to need to change, but I need 6 of your best plays. Mm-hmm. I need 6. Whether you got to do reverses, double passes, trick plays, special teams. Bubba Ventrone, come on in here. Hey, I need your best fake punt. I need your best fake, whatever it is. I need something creative on the kickoff. The Cleveland Browns is going to be wearing the new helmets this week.
Yep.
They're gonna have the new swag. You're gonna be at home. Hey, Coach Kevin Stefanski. Hey, maybe bring a quarterback in. If you want to bring Dylan, put 2 quarterbacks and run some trick stuff. Do something. Direct snap, wildcat with Judkins. But what you have to do is you have to get into one of these games, and Dustin is right. When you getting paid and they getting paid, you got players, they got players. If in the NFL you come out and you start slow and another team get momentum, I don't care who they is. It could be a long day for you. The Cleveland Browns is not that bad to a point where if you give a couple punches and haymakers, that the Packers won't be like, oh, okay, we wasn't expecting that. And that's what you need to do in this football game. Bring the excitement level. Get the crowd into the game. The first couple of games, you coming off a loss, you lost 41-17. Come out and get the crowd thinking and get the crowd energized early, but don't come out running the ball and running up the middle and trying to figure something out and getting Micah Parsons into the game, all that stuff. Put them on their heels. Put them in a position where they got to come McNuggets and come get with you, not the opposite way around. They're on the road. I think that's the key to this game, and the Browns trying to get a victory against a really good football team because I really like the Packers.
It's easy to say a lot of things we're going to talk about in this discussion. It's a lot harder to actually execute them. So just take everything we say with a grain of salt. But it is certainly possible. We've seen bigger upsets in football. We see it every week.
It's not crazy to think the Browns could win this game. I mean, if you played this game 100 times, the Browns would probably win 20.
The P.J. Walker 49ers game was the most improbable game I've ever seen.
And we'll go back to that exact game because I think the blueprint to beating the Packers this week falls in line similarly to what they did in that game against San Francisco. And you think of all the crazy upsets in football. You go back to the Giants beating the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl. It always starts with the defensive front. You have to make Jordan Love's life a living hell on Sunday. And you can when you have guys like Myles Garrett, who I would argue through 2 weeks has been the single best player in the NFL. What he's done on a per-week basis through these first 2 games is unmatched by anyone else in football. Mason Graham would be a great time to get his first sack of the season. Maybe we see Mike Hall in uniform, Isaiah McGuire, Alex Wright. They've both been productive in their snaps opposite of Myles, but it all starts with generating that pressure up front so you can drop extra guys back in coverage and pray that Jordan Love doesn't have enough time to pick and choose and pick apart your defense in the secondary. On the flip side of the ball, you're right. You got to get creative. You can't settle for threes. You need 6. If you get down in the red zone, I understand sometimes points are points, and we could come here on Monday and Jay Crawford could be super conservative and say, I can't believe they kicked that field goal on 4th and 3 from the 13. Like, you need to score touchdowns in this game.
Yeah.
And I feel bad saying this, but Joe Flacco is almost a sacrificial lamb in this instance because you are not going to beat the Green Bay Packers dinking and dunking down the field and giving Micah Parsons 7, 8, 9 attempts to pass rush against an offensive line that we're going to talk about in a little bit, guys, that has not done nearly a good enough job keeping him upright. The Browns haven't attempted more than 5 passes this season of 20 air yards, G. They have been playing within this little constructed box because teams are playing too high deep or too high coverage because they don't respect the run. Judkins being back in his second week should help. They don't respect the receivers. You have Jerry Jeudy, who else is beating you deep. You're not really scared of Tillman beating you over the top. We haven't seen Jamari thrash yet. DeAndre Carter's out with the concussion. But you got to dial up some play-action shots here. And Joe Flacco has to be able to stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver a deep ball because you have to get this defense to play back a little bit to open up some running lanes. So I think the blueprint is turn Jordan Love's day into a nightmare and connect on a few deep shots. And when you get in the red zone, you get in that plus 50 territory, be aggressive, go for it. If it doesn't work, it's okay. It's okay.
I would
but you
say
got to
this,
take those opportunities.
to your point, Mikey, the Browns, when they get in the red zone, you can't settle for 3. I mean, 3 points against this offense, just this football team, is not going to get it done. So if it takes 4th and 2 at the 18-yard line, you got to go for it. 4th and 3, like 3 points is not. It's gonna make you feel like, oh, we got some points. We feel, dude, we're not good enough.
It's just gonna make you feel like you lost by less on Monday. We only lost by 9, not 12.
It's only gonna make people happy who bet on the Browns because at the end of the day, you may cover, but you're not gonna win the game.
The demoralizing part about it is, Dustin, is it ain't nothing like sitting on that sideline and you done worked all that time to get these little placebo 3 points here or there, these little stanky little 3 points, and then they come right back down the field. Pass over the middle, 12 yards. Pass over the right, 25 yards. A 15-yard screen pass, they already in their territory. And they end the drive, 4 plays, 86 yards in the touchdown. And you like, bro, it took us a whole decade to get down to get 3, right? It makes you feel as if you're down by more points because when you do all that to get 3, and they already had 3, right? It's 3-3. They come down to get that 7 and then throw another 7 on you. You down 17-3, and you're like, well, what are we doing now? What are we doing now?
It's like in a game where you go like 15-play drive, you get down to like the 3-yard line, you take the 3 points, you're like, oh man, and then you kick it off, and they return that kickoff. Nothing more. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Do you know such a big game?
You know what I'm saying?
That hurt. All I could do is laugh because I done seen that a lot. It's just it hits you right in the ribs. You like, bro, it's about to be a long day.
Yeah,
long day out here, bro.
Do you know else that's a big game for this to go in the Browns' favor? Is Jerry Jeudy. And I don't know if you saw his comments yesterday.
Yeah.
He said, hey, go back, watch the tape. The separation was there. I went back and watched a lot of the All-22. G, I know you went back and watched this. I'm not sure if you had a chance to go back. I am not an NFL wide receiver. I will not pretend to be. I didn't see a ton of separation, G. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying Jerry Jeudy's wrong because he knows better than me, but we've gone back and watched the tape and seen receivers be open and not get the football, and we've seen receivers be kind of open if it was a perfect throw and you could Madden lob it over 3 guys. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it. Jerry Jeudy's not been good through the first 2 weeks of the season. For the Browns to beat a team of the caliber of Green Bay, they need their best offensive weapon to play like a true number one. They can't have a performance like they saw against Cincinnati or Baltimore from Jerry Jeudy and be able to keep up point for point with Jordan Love in this high-powered Packers offense. They need Jerry Jeudy. To have a performance like he did against, maybe not the Denver game where he had 200 and whatever yards and 2 touchdowns. He doesn't have to go crazy like that, but he needs to have 95, 100 yards and a touchdown for the Browns to have a shot in this game.
You know, Stefanski, I don't know if he talked to you guys. I don't know. I can only go by what he's saying in the media. But you got to bring Jerry Jeudy in the office. And I feel like you should have had these conversations with some of these players prior to the season start. You like, listen, we got Joe playing. I told Joe, we going to play him as long as he's balling. But you know how this league go, Joe. If you ain't balling, the second you're not balling, my job is to get these other dudes prepared to play. You know it's a youth movement, but I ain't stupid. If you got us in a playoff contention and playoff race, we got you. Jerry Jeudy, come on in here. Hey, listen, Jerry, we going to have Flacco playing at first, but more importantly, we're going to have 2 young dudes playing. You're a number 1 receiver. You showed that last year. I don't need you to just make the regular joints. I need you to make all of them joints. All of them, because there's going to be some balls that's off target. It may be a quick view. It may be a wrong communication, but I need you to make these guys look good because that's what number 1 receivers do. You put it in the vicinity, you catch it, you move the sticks. That's what we need from you. And I don't understand why I get it. He's a little defensive right now, but we don't need defensive Jerry Jeudy. We need you right. You know, I can't have the ball on the turf, and in this game, we locked in because I'm going to need to catch everything if we're going to beat a team like this. So I just wish they had that communication. And I'm going to ask Zach when he come in here. I'm going to ask him what's going on with Jerry Jeudy's hands. I'm confused by it right now. He had a great year last year. First 2 games, it ain't been looking like he had the focus. It ain't there.
Cedric Tillman, too. He used some hands.
We'll get Zach in 1 sec with Dustin real quick. I mentioned Jeudy. Give me one player that has to have a monster game outside of the obvious Myles Garrett.
David Njoku.
And why is that?
I just think that you may have some opportunities to work the middle of the field in this game based off of just what I've seen and what I've read. And Njoku hasn't done anything this year. And he was the favorite target of Joe Flacco a year ago. I think it's time for this guy to step up. And for whatever reason, I don't know. I need him to have a big game, especially you talking about getting down there in the red zone. Like, he's got to be a go-to target.
And really quickly, what they did really well with David Njoku was the check release stuff in 2023. They kept him in blocking, and then they would release him out in the flat, and then he was a load to bring down with corners and safeties. Right now, it looks like a lot of Dylan Sampson back there trying to pass protect on 3rd down. I don't think that's working out too much.
No.
With Roquan Smith on him, they're keeping him, making him block. I want to see more. Hey, if the pass protection is an issue, keep him in, check release, and then get him out in the flats and let him tackle him. A little more of that, too.